few, how much hockey you watch on off nights, but a few teams last night in a similar position kind of fight their way back and stay in it. Just maybe a thought on watching that and your chance to do the same.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, some good games, and yeah, I mean, it's playoffs. No one's going to give up. Any team at any moment ain't going to give up, and we're going to try to, obviously come back and win the game and come back and win the series, and that's our entire objective tonight is win a hockey game and go back to LA.
First goal has been critical in this series, obviously, Drew. What are the ingredients to kind of make sure you get a good start to give yourself the best chance?
I mean, good start doesn't always mean getting the first goal, unfortunately. I thought we had a better start last game. They just happened to get the first goal. Those things are going to happen, but first goal is always important. You want to get off on the right foot. For us here in this building, getting the first goal might take the crowd a little bit out of it, things like that. So, yeah, first goal is always important.
What are you going to do about the power play? You guys are struggling defending it.
What?
What are you going to do about their power play?
Their power play? I mean, we're aware of all the things they do. They just have some really good players that'll, not go off on their own page, but come up with something different in the middle of the power play. And, it's hard to adjust to those things. We just got to be smarter, be in shooting lanes, and then rely on, the goalies to make simpler saves. I think a lot of the power play goals they've scored, their goalies have had no chance on them, to be honest. So we need to take away those passing lanes, those backdoor tap-ins, and let the goalie make the save.
You've been on both sides of this game over your career. The one team's absolutely desperate, playing for their lives. The other team's trying to manufacture that same level of desperation. Can you tell us, having been on both sides, what's the difference?
Well, we're fighting for our lives, essentially. Over here, LA, Edmonton has a decently comfortable lead at 3-1, and they're playing at home tonight. So I'm not expecting them to lay down by any means. They're going to come out hard. They're going to play desperate. But when you're fighting for your life, usually that team's going to be more desperate. It's just life.
Drew, the scouting in this series, it seems like they've done a really good job scouting you guys. They seem to almost be anticipating everything that you guys do. Does it feel that way to you guys?
I mean, no, not really. Maybe in 1-3-1-4 check sense, it seems like they got a few things that they're throwing at us that we've seen before. But when they change them up routinely, it's tough to kind of feel what's going to happen. But our coaches are doing the same thing. We're studying them, and as a team, we're studying them, so we're prepared for everything they're doing and what they might change and whatnot. It's part of the battle is preparing for the other team, and both teams are doing a good job, I think.
The way you guys played the other night, Drew, you guys dominated them. You didn't get the win, but you kind of build on that and say, okay, we'll play that way again.
Yeah. We played a fantastic game last game. We just couldn't get any pucks by Skinner, and that's our objective tonight is to play the same exact game, but obviously get some goals. We saw when we play our best like that what we can do and how we can kind of manage the game, and now that we've seen that, I think that's a good thing for us. Even though we lost, we see if we do the right things and play that way that we can have probably a way better outcome. So we'll look to do that again.
You've always been a really good describer of what it's like to play against McDavid all these years. Every time you come to town, you have something interesting to say. Now that you've watched him become surrounded by more and more good players, there was a time when he wasn't. Now he is. How does that change playing him? He's got a better team around him.
I mean, that just makes him better, obviously. They have a lot of good players on this team. It's not a two-man show with Draisaitl and McDavid, as good as they are. They have a lot of good players. They have depth. They're a better team this year than they were last year. And, now he's got guys around him that are making plays to him, not him making all the plays for everyone else. So I guess that's the biggest difference.
A little bit different here, Drew. A couple pieces of video have surfaced of you in conversations with the referees and the other team. When the other team is engaged in conversation with the referee, is it important for you guys to be there and to be listening and to be part of it? And you seem to enjoy being in the middle of that.
Yeah. Well, as a captain, that's just our responsibility in a way. When they have guys going up to the refs all the time, we got to get in there and not. I don't know if we're really doing anything. We're just there to listen and maybe have a different opinion, but. Yeah, it's just part of the game. If we have a guy up at the ref, they're going to bring a guy up to the ref too. It's just part of the game, and make sure they're not spew anything false.